Hi friends, it's Mrs. Smith here with my special guest Beatrice. This is one of my dogs. I'm here to read Gorilla Thumps and Bear Hugs. So we're going to go ahead and read this together. One day, during recess, Lucas noticed that his friend Annabelle looked very sad. When he asked what was wrong, she said, "I was drawing a picture of myself as a scientist, and two kids teased me. They told me the picture was silly and that I was crazy for wanting to be a scientist. But I think science is so much fun. I want to be an astronomer so I can learn about fun stuff like billions of stars in space. Or maybe a zoologist, studying all the different animals in the world, where they live and what they do. Or a doctor, learning all the amazing things in our bodies that our eyes can see, our ears can hear, our lungs that breathe, and our hearts that beat." But kids are always teasing me for liking science. Maybe I'm foolish for wanting to be a science. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe that's why I'm so sad, Annabelle said with a sigh. "I'm sorry you're sad. I know a secret trick that might help you feel better," Lucas said. "A few weeks ago, I was really sad because I tripped and fell playing soccer. It hurt, and I didn't want to play anymore because I looked silly in front of my friends. So I quit." Is that a good idea? He quit because he tripped one time? "When my brother Malachi saw how sad I was, he taught me something called the magical tapping technique, and it made me feel so much better." "Want to learn about it?" "Sure," Annabelle said. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. "He started by telling me we all have magical points on our bodies where we can touch our energy," Lucas said. "And by tapping on these points, we can saying magic words, we can change how we feel. He has really fun ways to remember each point." I want to learn these points. Hi-ya! "We always start by tapping with the karate chop point," Malachi said as he tapped the outside of his hand. "With this point, I like to think I'm doing karate and breaking a board." So that's right here. Go karate chop point. All right, the next point. The next point is the eyebrow point, right here. I call this the hairy eyebrow point. When I tap, I pretend that I have eyebrows so big that birds can land on them and sing songs and make me feel better. That's a little silly. Then there's the side of the eye point, which I call the super eagle eye point. When I tap here, I pretend to have super eagle eyes that help me look at things in a different way. That's right here, the super eagle eye point. Next is the under eye point. I like to call this the lion cry point. It's right here, under the eyes. This helps me remember that even if you're strong as a lion, it's still okay to cry and let those bad feelings out. A lot of times, crying can make you feel better. I know sometimes it makes me feel better. Does it make you feel better sometimes? Then there's the under the nose dragon point. I call that the dragon fire point. When I tap here, I pretend that I'm a dragon setting fire to my bad feelings as I breathe them out through my nose. I can feel bad feelings leaving through the hot fire on my hands as I tap. Ahoo! The next is called the chin point. I call this the wolf chin point because when I tap here, I think about a wolf howling away the bad feelings. Then there's the collarbone point, which I think of as the gorilla thump point. When I tap here, it's like I'm a big, proud gorilla beating my chest. Right here, gorilla chest point. Looks like Beatrice wants to listen to the book too. Next is the underarm point. I call this the bear hug point. See, there's the bear hug point. Because when I tap here, I think about giving myself lots of love with a big bear hug. That's right here. Right here. Big bear hug point. The last one and the last one is the top of the head point. I call this my monkey point. Ooh, ooh, ah. When I tap on this point, I like to pretend I'm a monkey. Sometimes I even make monkey sounds. What's up here? Top of the monkey head. Hello, Beatrice. Are you enjoying the book? Malachi showed me how to tap on each magical point on my body with my fingers, saying the magical word. Lucas said, "At first I felt silly, and I even giggled, thinking about the funny names for each point. But once I started doing it, I didn't mind, because it made me feel so much better." It sounds like it could help. But what are the magical words? Annabelle asked. They're actually called the magical tapping phrases, said Lucas. You know them when you're tapping the magical energy points, because you just say out loud how you're feeling. And this helps the feelings change. Can we try it? Sure, just repeat after me and tap where I tap, said Lucas. Okay, can we tap with him? I think we're going to tap with Lucas. First, tap on the karate chop point and say, even though I feel sad because kids tease me about my pictures, I love myself anyway. And Annabelle did just what he said. Keep tapping that point on your hand and say this 2 times. Even though I feel sad because kids tease me, I'm a good kid anyway. Annabelle repeated, and Lucas said twice. Next. Great, said Lucas. Now let's do the hairy eyebrow point and say, I feel sad because kids teased me. Lucas and Annabella continued to tap on each point, saying the magical tapping phrases. Soon, Annabelle got the hang of it and started tapping on her own. Oh, she looks so happy there. When Annabelle finished tapping through all the points, Lucas told her to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. How do you feel? He asked. Wow, I feel a lot better, she said. This is magic, real magic. And you know what? I had the great idea when we were tapping. Annabelle got up and said, I've got to go ask a teacher about my ideas. There's asking the teacher. After recess, all the kids were asked to draw pictures of what they wanted to be when they grew up. They had different ideas, like being a police officer or a teacher or a firefighter or an artist or an astronaut or a professional soccer player. Of course, Annabelle drew herself as a scientist. When they were done, each kid got to share his or her picture with the class and tell why they chose that job. Everyone had an amazing time, and Annabelle was no longer alone. The next day, Annabelle came up to Lucas and said, thank you so much for showing me the magical tapping technique. It made me feel so much better and even helped me have the idea for us to draw our dreams. You're welcome, said Lucas. I'm glad you liked it. Malak and I are starting a tapping club to teach other kids how to tap. Do you want to help? I'd love to, Annabella said with a big grin. The end. Well, that's pretty cool that they have all these different tapping points. So let's go over them together. So we have the karate chop tapping point. Karate chop right here. We have the hairy eyebrow point. We have the super eagle eye point. That's on either side. Super eagle eye point. We have the lion cry point right here. We have the dragon fire point. It's like you're breathing fire. We have the wolf chin point, the gorilla thump point, the bear hug point on our sides, and the monkey point. Which point's your favorite? I'd say the monkey point is my favorite, but I also like the eagle eye point. Sometimes I rub the eagle eye point, and that helps me calm down. So I'd love to hear from you guys as to what your favorite point is, tapping point. This is a great exercise to use at home. If you're feeling upset or stressed, you just find those different points and say how you're feeling and tap on those points. All right, friends, that was Gorilla Thumps and Bear Hugs. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon, and we'll be doing another book.